Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Juliet Tiamwa and you can call me Dr. OMG. If this is your first time here, you're welcome. On this channel, we discuss topics related to education, career, and personal development. So I hope these are of interest to you, and if they are, do stick around and let's learn and grow together. Okay. All right. So today's topic, I'm going to talk about how you can fund your graduate program in the US. So I'll talk about the sources of funds and then focus more on how to get full funding for your graduate program in the US. In one of my previous videos, I talked about how my friend helped me get a full funding opportunity, and I thought it would be good to use this opportunity to talk about other ways you can get full funding for your graduate program in the US. Let's dive right in. So, first of all, I want to say that that's just to give a general high level overview, and later in subsequent videos, we can dissect some of these subtopics, especially getting close to the application cycle opening for this year, which is later in August. All right, so there are four main ways of funding your graduate program in the US, and I'm going to talk about them from what I think is the least preferred all the way to the most preferred. So, the least preferred is using loans. Okay, so unless you're doing a program that you know will have high return on investment or really good return on investment, then I do not suggest you do loans. People doing medicine um, can take loans because their jobs are guaranteed after school, and their starting salaries are really huge, so there is a good return on investment. But for other master's PhD programs, you're not guaranteed a job, and also um, you can't tell what your starting salary is even going to be, right? So you don't even know, you won't know if it's a good return on investment. So that's about it. So number three, that's less preferred, is using personal funds. So for professionals who have worked over the years, can save money to help sponsor their master's or PhD programs. If you ask me, I would say there are better options or better ways of funding your graduate program. So I do not recommend using personal funds for grad school because you can really get it for free. Okay. All right. So the second option, which is, I would say, preferred, but it's not the most preferred, is using external funds or external funding sources. So external funding sources are funding or scholarship opportunities that are not given by the school you're attending. So other sources, for example, Mastercard Foundation, Fulbright scholarships, and even for my ladies, American Association of University Women scholarships, and Schlumberger Faculty for the Future scholarships. All these are scholarships that are given by external bodies, right? And you can, for some, you can get it and use it to attend any school. For others, you're supposed to attend specific schools, like the Rhodes Scholar for, Oxford, for example. So the external funding opportunities, they are preferred, but not the most preferred because it's hard to track them. It's hard to even know about them. And, their application deadlines and requirements can be a little bit more complicated, but they are not impossible. I'm an AAUW fellow, 2015-2016, and one of my very first video on this channel, we have a whole ass information session on how to plan and get the American Association of University Women Scholarship. So for the ladies, you can check it out. All right. So what is the most preferred? Most preferred scholarship is graduate assistantships. These graduate assistantships are the most common forms of funding your graduate program in the US. It is not exactly a scholarship, but it's a funding opportunity. And what that means is that for a graduate assistant, you, the graduate student, you are, offering a service, such as you're being a teaching assistant, or you're being a research assistant, or you're just being, you know, a graduate assistant, providing a service, your time to either grade, um, students, teach students, do research, and in return for this service, the school will waive your tuition so you don't have to pay any tuition. And then the school also gives you some stipend. And the stipend can be anywhere from $12,000 a year to $40,000 a year, even depending on which school you're in, which city you're in, right? So it is a really good funding opportunity. And I'll say it's the best, mainly because it's more structured and it's the most common, so you can easily target for them and plan for them. Okay, so how do you get these graduate assistantship? One way of getting graduate assistantships is through by applying to schools that offer automatic graduate assistantships. So there are schools that once you apply and you're admitted, you wouldn't pay anything. Examples include Rice University, PhD in business administration. If you apply to Rice University's PhD in business administration and you're admitted, it's a full ride. You'll be given full funding. For those in engineering, you can target schools like University of Michigan. All their engineering PhD programs are automatic full funding. So once you apply and you are admitted, you automatically get full funding for them. Okay, so I've given you two, and an action item for you is to search for schools, just go on Google, search for schools offering automatic full funding for PhD programs. Some schools will pop up. Add to the two that I've given you. And the next application cycle is going to open in August. So you have between now and August to really gather, search for schools, create your database, and gather all the requirements that these schools need and plan ahead. Okay, most of these schools will require statements of purpose and some essays. You don't want to wait for the last minute to put those things together. You want to start working on them now. Okay, so that is something to note. And I said, I've given you two schools, you can search for the others and then add to them. There are schools that do not offer automatic funding with admission. So those ones, how do you get them, or how do you get the full funding? One is by reaching out to professors. So in reaching out to professors, there are professors who need help with their research. So sometimes they advertise for these even on social media platforms. So that is why you have to even be intentional about the social media platforms that you be active on. So LinkedIn and Twitter, or now X, are good platforms where professors advertise for um, research assistant or graduate assistant positions. So you want to search, you want to be on these platforms. And if you are targeting any school, look at the departments, look at the professors in those departments, and go and follow them on LinkedIn, go and follow them on Twitter, so that when they post something, you'll be one of the first people to see and reach out. One of my mentees actually found her full funding opportunity on Twitter when she saw that a professor had posted something like that, and she reached out to him, and she went to Virginia Tech, finished, and now she's even working. So it's a very viable way of getting full funding for your master's or your PhD program. The other way of getting it is also by directly applying to graduate assistantship positions. So there are schools that when you apply for admission to your program, they also have forms for you to apply if you want to be considered for graduate assistantship positions. So those schools, you apply for them. And then also, even for schools that do not necessarily have that, once you are applying to the school, you find they'll normally put the the program director or program coordinator's email there. Once you've decided you're going to apply to that school, reach out to the program director and let the program director know that you are interested in their program, you're applying to their program, and you would like to be considered for graduate assistantship positions. Sometimes just that puts you on their radar, and when any opportunity comes, they'll reach out to you to let you know that, hey, they have some graduate assistantship positions. And the other way of getting some of these full funding opportunities is through friends. Leverage your networks. I shared how I got mine through a friend, right? So your friends in various universities in the US know professors who are graduating students, and so they will have vacancies for students to fill. So be in contact or constant contact with your friends who are in schools here and let them know that you're interested in joining their school. They'll be able to give you some guidance and also be, able to let you know if there are some specific professors that you should reach out to because they have some vacancies. Okay, so leverage your friendships. Okay, and apply to schools where your friends are attending. It's one of the good ways of increasing your chances of getting full funding. Okay, because they'll put you in contact with the professors. And lastly, I want to say that you are if you are watching this and you are an environmental science person or environmental engineering, civil engineering student who is looking for master's or PhD opportunities, go to this website, Association of Environmental Engineering and Science Professors website. Professors in environmental engineering and civil engineering looking for students are always advertising there. So sleep on that website. I mean, wake up and sleep at that website. You see um, advertisements for graduate assistantship positions, and you see the different research areas. So if any of them are of interest to you, reach out to the professors and you can get your funding opportunities through them. In a nutshell, that is it. Just to recap a few things. So one, don't use loans unless you have the return on investment is going to be great. Hesitate in using personal funds. Only do when you've exhausted all opportunities to get full funding. I've given you 4 external scholarships that you can target. I have also talked about how to get the most preferred, which is graduate assistantships. I've given you 2 schools that will give you automatic funding once you apply and get admission to them. That's University of Michigan Engineering PhD programs and Rice University PhD Business Administration program. Search for other schools and target those schools between now and August. Use it very well to work on the requirements, okay, so that you can put your best foot forward. And lastly, for the environmental science students, environmental science and environmental engineering students, I've given you some additional resource on where to search for funding opportunities, and also remember to leverage your friendships and networks. Okay, so work on these action items. I hope you work on these action items. If you have any question, if there is any topic or subtopic concerning this that you want me to touch on, you can let me know in the comment section, and also let me know which stage you are in this whole process. Okay, I wish you the very best, and like I said, in subsequent videos later towards August-ish, we can delve more into some of these things. Okay, so until then, be safe, and I wish you the very best. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye. Okay. Hello.